Hello everybody, it's Godzilla 154 here, coming at you with another brand new video. In this video I'll be showcasing a custom Neca Godzilla 1973, and I'll be comparing it to the original Neca Godzilla 1973 I did all the way back in April of 2020, to give a good look at how I've improved overall. Without further ado, let's get started. The base for this custom, like almost all of my Showa Godzilla figures, is the Neca Godzilla 1964. In terms of what I've done, I've completely resculpted the head, modified the neck, the chest, the legs, the tail, the feet, and I've completely redone the spines. Custom sculpting of course, and a full repaint. In terms of the head, I think I got really close to the actual suit. As always, I'm trying to improve and get my sculpts to be more and more detailed and more accurate. For the eyes, I tried to replicate the look the suit had. The teeth have been modified and the fangs have been removed. The mouth has been painted in a dark red, with whitish yellow teeth. On the neck and the front of the body, you can see my tried and true sculpting method. When it's all painted up, I think it looks very nice. A large amount of detail has been jam-packed into these sections, to make sure I can replicate the suits as best as possible. Not much has been done to the hands, just a simple silver on the claws. Godzilla's thighs and knees have been sculpted as well. His thighs have been sort of filled in to give it a more round look, as the Neca 64 normally has folds. His knees have been sculpted over with the same skin texture. The toes on his feet have been closed together to match the suit, and they've been painted in silver. Using the original spines as a base, I completely resculpted the spines to match the 1973 suit. I think I matched the shapes pretty well, and they're dry brushed in silver as well. For the tail spines, I resculpted them to have that iconic 2-notch look that the 70 suits had, and I rounded off the tail tip, as the Neca 64 normally has a sharp pointed tail tip. For a quick comparison, let's show this 73 next to my custom Godzilla 1975. As you can see with the majority of it, it's very similar, as they're supposed to be the same basic suit, but the heads and spine placement are vastly different. I think these two look very good together. Not often you get to see the 70 suits together, let alone 75 and 73, as both suits hardly get figures, and 73 doesn't even have a Bandai figure, which I think is a major shame. A lot of people think 73 and 74 are essentially the same suits. However, 73 has a completely different spine placement to 74 and 75, and 73 even has a slightly different head shape, with 73 looking a lot more rough, while 74 has slightly smoother shapes, and 75 being the smoothest out of the three. Here's 1973 with my custom bootleg Showa Ghidorah. And now for the big moment, the comparison of a whole year's worth of progress. This new Godzilla 1973 done in April 2021, compared to the original Godzilla 1973 I did all the way back in April 2020. As you can see right off the bat, the sculpting quality is clearly different. Nowadays I have a much more refined sculpting technique, going for high detail and accuracy. Back then I was also going for detail and accuracy, however I was very new to the technique, and I didn't really know what I was doing. Just looking at the torso texture, there is a clear difference to what I'm doing now compared to what I was doing a year ago. A year ago I was just making random lines in the sculpt, thinking, that's enough, that'll work. Now I'm very meticulously detailing every part of the figure. I've developed a very simple yet effective technique for sculpting skin, and you can see the fruits of my labor here. Another major point of improvement is the head sculpt. As you can see with the new one, it's very detailed, and I tried my hardest to make it as accurate as possible. The original was lacking in detail, due to me not really knowing what I was doing at the time. And while the general head shape is there, it's not really that accurate. A very similar situation can be seen with the dorsal spines of both figures. My original had the basic shapes for the spine down, however the detail isn't as great as it is now, especially because I use different sculpting tools for the spines nowadays. In terms of overall paint, they are painted in the same paint scheme. Entirely black bodies, silver spines, and silver nails. The major sections I want to look at in this category are at the heads and the dorsal spines. Most specifically on the head, the eyes. On my newer custom, there are many layers for the eyes. The white base, the black outline, the first brown layer, the second brown layer, another black outline, the third brown layer, and the black pupil, along with a red wash overall and gloss over top, capturing the crazy-eyed look of the 1973 suit. My original custom had far more simplistic eyes, having the white base, a black outline, a brown iris, the pupil, and the red highlight. The eyes on the original aren't even perfectly circular, while on the new one they are. In terms of paint on the spines, the new one has been dry brushed and blended in at the spine, so it's a very smooth transition from the black base to the silver tips. On my original, there is a hard line separating the black base and the silver outer edge of the spines. Overall, it is very fun to see where I've come from, and it's nice to see how much I've improved. What do you guys think of this custom Godzilla 1973? Do you guys think I've improved any from my original? Tell me in the comments below. I thank you all so much for watching. This has been Godzilla 154.